Hello there and welcome back to another edition of the Hot Lap Classic Remastered. This time we're taking a look at the 1987 Nissan Skyline GTS-R, the R31, one of my all-time favourite Skylines, if not my favourite. I just really like the way it looks. Obviously it's got the racing pedigree to back it up. When this car, I think it was Forza Horizon 3 was the first time it was in a Forza game, and I didn't really drive anything else other than this for at least a week afterwards. I even made a special livery for it, which I never do for a car. I just really enjoyed driving it. It drove so well in that game, and even in the later games it drives well, so I'm hoping it can continue that pedigree onto our track here. In terms of its livery, I mean, it does look absolutely exquisite. This is the proper Calsonic livery. The game's a little bit weird on when it uses Calsonic and when it doesn't, so in this case it will show up just fine as it does on the R32, and there's even the proper JGTC class Skyline that ran in GT500 in 1999, but it's censored on the Nissan Primeras, which is a bit odd. I'm not sure what the marketing decision is there, but either way, it shows up proper here, the classic Calsonic Impul livery. It does look exquisite, and as I mentioned, I hope this does drive quite well. We've had the Tommy Kyra M30 GTS, which is essentially a pre-tuned version of this car. I should have probably looked at the statistics of that car before I started up here, although I think they're relatively similar. That might have had the edge on power and maybe a little bit less weight, but obviously this has the advantage of the racing modification, so we'll see how it gets along. Front engine, rear wheel drive, 427 horsepower, 1,144 kilos of weight. Those are pretty decent stats for this track, so yeah, like I say, I'm hoping this one does rather well. Thanks, Alexa. Anyways, this car is going to get 6 laps of the Motorsports Land track in order to set the best time it possibly can. Our current leader is the Audi TT LM Edition. That car set a time of a 26.690. The Calsonic, the Nissan Skyline GTS-R is not going to be beating that. As I mentioned, Tommy Kyra M30 set a time of a 30.412. I would suspect that's definitely in the wheelhouse of where this can go. We've also had the DR30 Skyline, which, let's be honest, is basically the same as the R31. That set a time of a 30.7. From what I remember, that car had a bit sort of a wayward rear end, which this thankfully does not. This actually seems remarkably controlled. Lost the rear end a little bit there, in typical prove me wrong fashion, but yeah, 30.599 on the first opening gambit of this car. That is a pretty good lap time. As I mentioned, I would kind of like to get that M30, but we will see. We also had a technically we had a GTS-R out last time, but that was not this GTS-R. That was an R32, which this is not, as you can tell by the fact this doesn't weigh. Well, actually, I can tell why that M30 GTS-R didn't weigh all that much last time either, to be fair. Alright, 30.653. It is nothing but consistent, I'll tell it that. Got away with a good corner cut through the tyre barrier there. Sometimes that doesn't work and it invalidates your lap. Other times it'll spit you out at a wrong angle. And then every now and again you can just get away with it, and we definitely got away with it there. Through the final corner, 30.226. Alright, there we go. We have beaten the GTS now. I don't think we're going to get close to doing much better than that. So, yeah, I mean, we'll enjoy these final few laps. I will say, this is a phenomenal handling car. It really is just nice to drive this. It's, you know, nicely composed. It's not even, you know, even comparing to the RX-7s is a bit rough, because this has, like, way more traction than those even have. You can lose the rear end a little bit. I mean, obviously, it's still, at heart, an old sports car. But, yeah, it's nice. It's just nice, easy. Very consistent, as you can sort of see with the lap times. and how close I've been to my ghost the entire time round. yeah, just an all-round good car. There is no real denying on that one. So, yeah, we'll take that. 30.226. Very good lap time from, again, a very good car. There's not a lot to really complain about there in terms of this. You know, maybe a little bit more power, maybe a little bit less weight could have helped it out, but, you know, would that have spoiled the handling? Because it is just a very nice handling vehicle. Yeah. We'll see on the splits. I mean, there's a little bit of time in it, apparently. I could definitely see there being a little bit of time. I don't think there's too much. I think the beauty of a car like that is you can sort of see with decent consistency with the lap times as well. You can really get in a rhythm with it, and it won't go much beyond that. There isn't, you know, 2/10 to find there. It really is, like, that's probably the limit of what this can do, but it's still pretty high limit, so can't really complain all that much. A 30.226 will place this into 151st place. It actually goes surprisingly close to the Honda S2000, which is another car I would describe exactly like this. It's just a very nice, compliant, rear-wheel drive car that you can drive to its limit. It is quicker than the Nissan Fairlady Z version S Twin Turbo, quicker than the Evo 2, quicker than the RX-7 Type R SR, quicker than the Lexus GS400. Does lose out slightly to the freakishly quick Mazda 323 Interplay, Jaguar XKR Coupe, Camaro Z28, but that's all like serious power stuff that is above it. I mean, in terms of sort of simple rear-wheel drive cars, there's not a lot sort of upwards in this power band, really. It's just a good car. It just really is just a good car, and that's really the best way to describe it. Anyways, that's it for this episode. Thank you all very much for watching. Join me next time when I'll be driving something completely different. Until then, farewell.